Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I'm doing a series of videos for the Rankin Technical College Summer Adventure Academy website design, and I've been going over this tutorial, this build a Bootstrap website tutorial by my colleague Brad Lutes, and I did clean it up somewhat and got it to where I think it's looking the way that it should look. Okay? And I just decided I'm going to use the same exact code that he has here. This is just garbage text anyway, so that's fine. So what we want to do is we want to put in div excess, and we're going to talk about what this means right after we put it in. So we're going to put in right here div class equal col dash excess dash 12, which means for everything extra small, and everything else, have it take up this entire thing. H2, which is going to say content. Oops. And I'm going to copy this paragraph in its entirety from what Brad has right there. So, copy. I'm just going to throw it right in here. Alright, so let's do a file, save all, and then let's admire our handiwork here. Okay, so that's what we have right now. I have to pause for just a moment because, as you can hear, my air is on in the background. It's very hard to concentrate with that on, so I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so I ran my web page and it basically looks like this. So you can see mine, and you can see the master, so to speak. I put hidden excess there, alright, but it pretty much looks the same. Now, what we're told to do next is it says within the same div, but beneath the closing paragraph tag, add another. So this will be a horizontal rule. So in other words, it'll put a blank line underneath there, and then it's going to add some more code here. I'm just going to, again, just copy this stuff in directly. I mean, it comes a time where for you to see me typing stuff is kind of ridiculous. So grab that. Copy it to the clipboard. After our paragraph here, paste that in. File, save all. Go back, take a look at this again, refresh, and we've got more text in there now. Okay, so that's what the site looks like right now. All right, let me close a few of these. All right. So run it and looks like this, and ours does. Now you might say, well, ours looks bigger than that. Well, again, we can take this and make it as small or as big as we need it to be. All right, so if I make this a little bit smaller, or sooner or later, there you go. Okay, so you can see it pretty much does line up. All right, nothing in life is perfect, but it's pretty good. All right, that's about the size it looks like that he has it, at least on his handout there. Okay, all right, so within the same div, but under the closing paragraph, add the following code. This adds another H2 and gives it a section ID of 2. This is all fine. All right, so we're supposed to add this. All right, so right there, here, we are supposed to come in here and add this code that you see right here. Okay, that stuff. So that's an H2 with an ID that's equal to section _2, and it says content, and there is another P tag in there. All right. We'll again file, save all, come back, refresh, and we've got more content down here. And hopefully that's the way that it's supposed to look. Okay, and next we are supposed to add the following code to create a new row and add panel headers and panel bodies within their own div tags. Practice resizing the window and see how it treats the panels. So we have to add a lot of code here. So I'm going to add that in just a second, and when we get done it's supposed to look like this. So if we take a look at the code that's there, what do we have? We've got a new row, and this says that for medium and above it should take 6, so in other words it should take up half the screen. Alright, and it'll be in a panel. The heading will be for more info, and the body will look like this, and the other half will look like this. The heading will be fantastic news, and the body will look like this. So when we get done, there it is. And after we start moving it smaller, this will be in one column. This will all be a one column format as opposed to a 2 column. All right. So I'm going to, right now, I'm going to pause while I add that. Okay, so I added it. You can see we've got this, and you can also see that once this gets small enough that rather than being in 2 columns, it goes to a 1 column format. All right. And we are somewhat coming to the end of this. I'm up to step 32. So run the page and it should now look like this, and it did. Under the closing div, add the following code, which creates a new thematic change. It adds a new row, a paragraph tag, and some image placeholders. All right. So we want to add this code that's right here. Once we do that and we run it, we should have this. And that's really the last thing that's in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that code in here very quickly. And this will be the last lecture then in this series. that's all of everything except this last row where we have to add those images. So File, Save All, and I will add the images in just a minute. Let's refresh. Let's make it big again. And that's what we just added right there. Okay. So what's left is the div class row. What I did too, just so you know, is I came out and he wanted 300 by 300 images. So what I did was I went out to Google Images and just looked for something, 300 by 300. Let's use sunsets. Okay, and I'm just going to grab some of these right from the top row here. So grab this one, and I'm going to save the link, and I will save it out here to Bootstrap, Images. Try it again, save the image as to Bootstrap, Images, and I'm just going to call it Sunset 1. In fact, we don't even have to do that. This is going to be pretty ugly, but I'm going to copy the image address for this one. It's when I say it's ugly, it's because these are really big. Okay, so where was I? IMG source equals, like I said, you see how big it is. Class equals IMG responsive. Okay, hopefully that's got everything in it. Wow, that's big. Image. I think I've got an extra div here, but I don't know. Okay. And then I want to put in another one. So I'm going to grab all of this up until my source equals. Divs there, good. So another div, class equal row, image source equals, and again I'll want class equals image responsive, and I want to end my div. Okay, so in this source, we'll grab this sunset here, copy the image address, oops, and paste it in. All right, and then finally one last time, should have done this twice. It's kind of silly the way I did it here. looking like that in that color. But that should have an ending div right there. Okay, so why is that black in color? I don't know. So with this last one here, my beginning div, image. I need my ending div here. Okay, let's add this last one. This one looks like it'd be a good one. Copy image address. And last time. So, file, save all. Okay. Let's refresh. There are images. You can see they're screwed up. Don't know why, but they are. They do go to 1, which is what they should be doing there. But when they're big, they're screwed up. This is screwed up. So what I'll do is, again, I'm pretty far in here, so I'm going to pause and fix this and then come back and have a couple final. All right, so I prettied it up, so my final website looks like this. And when we do make it bigger, or when we make it smaller, what you'll notice is eventually these images will stack on top of one another. Okay? So, I hope you got something out of this. I enjoy doing it. At times I got a little frustrated, but thank you so much again to Mr. Brad Lutes for the job he did creating both this tutorial, which I have done now in about 6 lessons, this Create a Bootstrap website tutorial, and the other tutorial that he did, which was, and it's in here someplace. Of course, I just can't find it right now. But the other one that he did, which was on HTML5 and CSS3 tutorial. So thanks a lot, Brad. It is much appreciated.